everyone. Now today we are here to do an experiment. The name of this experiment is observing the action of zinc, iron, copper and aluminium metal on the following salt solution: zinc sulfate, iron sulfate, copper sulfate and aluminium sulfate. Now to arrange the zinc, iron, copper and aluminium metals in the decreasing order of reactivity based on the above result. Let's discuss some theory related to this topic. In this activity, we will discuss that all the metals are not equally reactive. And according to this concept, we have one reactivity series in which we have a sequence of metal in the decreasing order of their reactivity. The metal that lie at the top is more reactive than the next one. It means the potassium is more reactive than sodium, sodium is more reactive than calcium and so on. If the metal is more reactive, then it can displace the less reactive metal from its salt solution. But if the metal is less reactive, then it cannot displace the high reactive metal from its salt solution. This we will prove with the help of our experiment. Let's start the activity. Material required to do this activity are test tube stand, aluminium sulfate, iron sulfate, zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, aluminium, iron, zinc, copper, distilled water, some empty beakers. Now let's start the activity. First of all, we will take 4 test tube. In 4 test tube, I will add same solution in equal amount. So I am starting with the iron sulfate. I am adding 10 ml of iron sulfate in each test tube. In test tube 1, now again 10 ml of the iron sulfate in the test tube 2. Now I have added 10 ml of the iron sulfate in 4 test tube. Now in the test tube 1, I am adding small amount of the aluminium metal. Now in the test tube 2, I will add approximately equal amount of the iron. Now in the test tube 3, I will add a small piece of zinc metal. In the test tube 4, I am adding a small piece of copper metal. Now I am adding small amount of the copper more in the test tube 4. Now we will stir the mixture in the test tube 2 so that iron will be completely mixed in the iron sulfate. Now I will mix aluminium in the iron sulfate that was in the test tube number 1. There is no need to mix zinc and copper in the iron sulfate because they are in the solid form and they are at the base of this test tube. But the aluminium and iron are in the powder form, so that's why there is a need of mixing. Now we will leave this setup for 5 to 10 minutes. Let's observe the test tubes after the 10 minutes. In the first test tube there was iron sulfate and aluminium. Now I will pour out the liquid from the test tube and aluminium on the paper. Now see that aluminium has changed its color to small amount as compared to the previous one. There is some grayish coating on aluminium as compared to previous one because it has reduced its shine as compared to previous one. It means that aluminium has affected the iron. Now in the second tube there was iron sulfate and iron metal mixture. I will pour out iron sulfate from it. Now see the effect on the iron metal. Now see, it is same as the previous one. So it means iron sulfate has no effect on the iron metal. Now in the third tube there was iron sulfate and zinc. I will pour out the liquid from the test tube and see the effect of iron sulfate on the zinc. Now see that zinc has reduced its color. There is one coating on it as compared to the previous one. It means that iron sulfate has affected the zinc metal. Now in the fourth tube there was iron sulfate and copper metal. I will pour out the liquid from the test tube and see the effect on the copper metal. Now see, it is same as the previous one. It means that iron sulfate has not affected the copper metal. Now let's see the same concept from the reactivity series. Iron sulfate means we have the salt solution of iron. The high reactive metal, that was zinc and aluminium, they have displaces the iron from its salt solution. But copper and iron means less reactive metal and the same metal has not affected the salt solution. Now after cleaning the test tube, we will repeat the same process again with the another salt solution. Okay. Now initially we have done the test with the ferrous sulfate. Now we will do with the aluminium sulfate solution. Again I will take 10 ml of the aluminium sulfate solution and I will pour this aluminium sulfate solution in the test tube 1. Then again I will take 10 ml of the aluminium sulfate salt solution and I will add it in the second test tube. Now I have added 10 ml of the aluminium sulfate solution in each test tube. You can use any other quantity also, but the quantity should be same in each test tube. Now in the first test tube I am adding small amount of the aluminium metal In the next test tube, I am adding approximately equal amount of the iron metal. In the third test tube, I am adding small amount of the zinc metal. In the fourth test tube, I am adding small amount of the copper metal. Now we will shake every mixture. Firstly, I am shaking aluminium in the aluminium sulfate solution. Next, I am mixing iron in the aluminium sulfate solution. Next, I am mixing zinc in the aluminium sulfate solution, and last copper in the aluminium sulfate solution. Now we will leave this setup for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now after 10 minutes, we will observe the test tube again. In the first test tube, there was the mixture of aluminium and aluminium sulfate. I will remove the liquid part from this test tube and observe the effect on the metal. Observe that there is same appearance of the aluminium after putting the aluminium in the aluminium sulfate solution. There is no change in the appearance of the aluminium. This was my initial aluminium metal that I have added in the aluminium sulfate solution, and this is my aluminium metal that I have collected after putting in the aluminium sulfate solution for 10 minutes. The texture of the aluminium before and after is same. It means that there is no effect of the aluminium sulfate solution on the aluminium metal. Now observe this in our reactivity series. We have put aluminium in the aluminium sulfate solution and there is no effect on the aluminium. It means the metal is not affected in its salt solution. Now next observe the second test tube in which there was the mixture of aluminium sulfate and iron. Now I am removing the liquid part from the test tube and I will see the effect on the iron metal. This was my iron metal that was I have put in the aluminium sulfate solution, and this is my iron metal that I have collected after the 10 minutes putting in the aluminium sulfate solution. There is no change in the previous iron metal and after iron metal. So this shows that there is no effect on the iron when I will put it in the aluminium sulfate solution. Now let's see from the reactivity series. Iron is less reactive than the aluminium. That's why it has not affected the aluminium sulfate solution. It has not displaced the aluminium from its salt solution. Now observe the third test tube. I am pouring out the liquid part from the test tube and observe the effect on the zinc metal. This was my initial zinc and this was my zinc that I have put for the 10 to 15 minutes in the aluminium sulfate solution. The appearance is same. It means there is no effect on the zinc by the aluminium sulfate solution. Now let's see from the reactivity series that the zinc is lying after the aluminium metal. It means that zinc is less reactive than the aluminium metal, so that's why it has not affected the aluminium from its salt solution. Now let's observe the fourth test tube in which there was the mixture of aluminium sulfate and copper metal. I am pouring out the liquid from the test tube and I will observe the effect of the aluminium sulfate on the copper metal. This was my previous copper metal and this is my copper metal that I have put in the aluminium sulfate solution for 10 minutes. The appearance before and after is same. It means copper is not affected by the aluminium sulfate solution. Now from the reactivity series you can see that copper is lying below the aluminium metal, so that's why copper is less reactive than aluminium, so it has not affected the aluminium from its salt solution. Let's do the next part of our activity in which we will repeat the same process with the next salt solution, that is a zinc sulfate solution. Again I will take equal amount of the zinc sulfate solution. I am taking approximately 10 ml of the zinc sulfate solution and I will add this in each test tube. Firstly I am adding 10 ml of zinc sulfate in the test tube number 1. Now I will add zinc sulfate of approximately equal amount. Now I have added approximately 10 ml of the zinc sulfate solution in 4 test tube. Now one by one I will add metal in the test tubes. Firstly I am adding aluminium metal in the test tube number 1. Now I will add approximately equal amount of the iron in the test tube number 2. Now I will add small pieces of the zinc in the test tube 3. Now I will add small pieces of the copper metal in the test tube 4. Now I will mix the material by shaking each test tube. Now I have mixed each metal in the zinc sulfate solution. Now we will leave this setup for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's observe the test tube one by one. In the first test tube there was the mixture of zinc sulfate and aluminium. Now I will pour out the liquid from the test tube in a beaker. Now I will observe the aluminium metal. See that it was my initial aluminium that I have added in the zinc sulfate solution, and this is my aluminium that was dipped in the zinc sulfate solution for about 10 to 15 minutes. There is a light greyish coating on the aluminium when it was dipped in the zinc sulfate solution. Now observe it from the reactivity series that aluminium is more reactive than zinc. So that's why aluminium displaces the zinc from its salt solution, and therefore there was the coating of zinc on the aluminium. Now let's observe the second test tube in which there was the mixture of iron and zinc sulfate. Again I will pour out the liquid from the test tube in a beaker and I will observe the metal. This was my initial iron and it is my iron that was dipped in the zinc sulfate solution for 10 minutes. There is no change in the iron before and after. So it means that iron has not affected by the zinc sulfate solution. From the reactivity series you can see that iron is less reactive than the zinc, so that's why it has not affected the zinc sulfate solution. Now next observe the third test tube in which there was the mixture of zinc sulfate and zinc. Now I will pour out the liquid from the test tube and I will observe the metal. This was my initial zinc and it is my zinc that was dipped in the zinc sulfate solution for 10 minutes and its appearance before and after is same. It means that the same metal not affected by its own salt solution. Now let's observe the fourth test tube in which there was the mixture of zinc sulfate and copper. Now I will pour out the liquid from the test tube and observe the effect on the copper metal. It was my initial copper and it is my copper that was dipped in the zinc sulfate solution for 10 minutes and appearance of both the copper is same. It means it was not affected by the zinc sulfate solution. From the reactivity series you can see that copper is lying under the zinc, so that's why copper is less reactive than the zinc, so it is not affected by the zinc sulfate solution. Let's start the next part in which we will repeat the same process with the next salt solution, that is copper sulfate solution. Again I will take equal amount of the copper sulfate, that is approximately 10 ml, and I will pour it in each test tube one by one. Now after adding equal amount of the copper sulfate in the fourth test tube, I am adding aluminium metal in the first test tube, iron metal in the second test tube of approximately same amount, zinc pieces in the third test tube and copper metal in the fourth test tube. Now I will shake each mixture one by one so that each metal will mix in the copper sulfate solution. Now I will leave this setup for about 10 to 15 minutes for the reaction. Let's observe the test tube after 10 to 15 minutes. It was my first test tube in which there was the mixture of copper sulfate and aluminium. I am pouring out the liquid from the test tube and I will observe the effect on the metal. Now see, it was my initial aluminium and it is my aluminium that was dipped in the copper sulfate solution for 10 to 15 minutes. It has reduced its shine, so it means it is affected by the copper sulfate solution. In the reactivity series also, aluminium is lying above the copper, so that's why it has displaced the copper from its salt solution, so therefore it has reduced its shine in the copper sulfate solution. Now next observe the second test tube in which there was the mixture of iron and copper sulfate. Now again I am pouring out the liquid from the test tube and see the effect on the metal. Now see, this was my initial iron and it is my iron which was dipped in the copper sulfate solution for 10 to 15 minutes. There was a coating of copper on the iron. It means it was affected by the copper sulfate solution. In the reactivity series also, the iron is lying above the copper, so that's why it was affected by the copper sulfate solution. It has displaced the copper from its salt solution. Now observe the third test tube in which there was the mixture of zinc and copper sulfate. I am pouring out the liquid from the test tube and see the effect on the metal. This was my initial zinc and it is my zinc which was dipped in the copper sulfate solution for 10 to 15 minutes. It has reduced its shine, so it means it is affected by the copper sulfate solution. In the reactivity series also, zinc is lying above the copper. It means zinc is more reactive than copper, so it has displaced the copper from its salt solution. Now last, observe the fourth test tube in which there is a mixture of copper sulfate and copper. Now I am pouring out the liquid from the test tube and observe the effect on the metal. Now see, it was my initial copper and it is my copper that was dipped in its salt solution. It means that it is dipped in the copper sulfate solution. The appearance of before and of after the copper is same. It means if I dip the same metal into its salt solution, then it is not affected by the salt solution. Now on the basis of this activity, we will arrange the given metals, that was aluminium, zinc, iron and copper, in the decreasing order of their reactivity. The most reactive metal was aluminium, then zinc, then iron, and least reactive metal was copper. It means our most reactive metal is aluminium from the given metal and least reactive metal was copper from the given metal. From this activity we have judged that the metal is more reactive if it can displace the other metal from its salt solution, but the metal is less reactive if it cannot displace the other metal from its salt solution. And according to it, we have arranged our metal in the decreasing order in which the aluminium is more reactive than zinc, then iron and then copper. I hope this activity is clear to you and you have enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much.